So today is the 6th of December 2021. Welcome to the News Review segment here on Pan-African Television. My name, as always, is Kwame Owusu Danso. You can call me Champion KOD, and I will gladly, with exhilaration, with excitement, respond, shit. A special salutation going out to our people watching us from across the world. I know that we have a lot of viewers, a number of our viewers are from the diaspora. Well, I say a special good morning and thank you to you for always tuning into your most authoritative TV station, Pan-African Television. And for those of you also watching us from within the continent, Nigeria, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Congo, Botswana, Mali, Cameroon, Togo, we are grateful. Liberia and all of those other countries, we are grateful that every morning you spend time here with us on the morning show. This morning there are a number of issues which we are going to be discussing. But before I introduce you to the topics, let me go for this quick commercial break. On my return, we will get straight into action. Please, and please again, don't move a muscle. It's going to be very exciting this morning. Bear it in mind that today is the 6th, tomorrow is the 7th. Next 3 years, around this time, we'll be getting ready to vote. Between now and then, SMP. Quick commercial break, stay with us.
Hello, information.
Madam,
Me, I have still not got the money for that list of expensive building materials you sent to me. The price of the iron rods have been increased too much, added.
Madam, relax. Look, that's not why I even called. I just visited IPCP, where the engineers told me everything about Trasacco fast floor.
Trawanko, please, those people are expensive. Are they not the people building those big houses in town? I beg going to catch a guy.
Madam, in fact, I used to think the same until I visited their office today, and they gave me an estimate of how much it will cost. No, the estimate is real. It's cheaper than the one I even sent you.
Wow.
Building contractors, foremen, masons. Visit IPCP, the Trasacco Fast Floor. Engineers will assist you build an affordable, faster and stronger building.
Madam, it is done.
Wow.
Trasacco Fast Floor, stronger, faster and affordable.
This is a Trasacco construction product.
Welcome back from that quick commercial break. We are laughing out loud because of what just happened. I'm not going to say that on air, but it's very, 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 very funny. Anyway, the topics as I intimated before the break are reducing Ghana's revenue gap. Reku Brube wants presidency to cut profligacy and stop private jet rental. That's captured on the front page of the Insight newspaper. I wonder if government listens to the likes of Reku Brube, the likes of Nyaho Tamaklo, and a few others who have dissenting opinion as regards how the president manages the country. I don't know. I'm just asking. Anyway, E-levy controversy. Haruna says yes. Muntaka says no. The Informer newspaper. I presume with certainty that last week when I raised this matter, I was told without any hesitation that the NDC's position is very simple, that they are in complete disagreement with the budget and therefore they have rejected the budget with no questions asked. And so if they have rejected the budget, then it stands to reason that everything therein have been rejected. So yeah, I just want us to spare Haruna Idrisu a little bit. I think in a when you get excited, you want to say a few things, but it's okay. COVID-19, Omicron variant travel ban. President wraps global community for targeting African countries. That's Daily Graphic. That will be our African story for this morning. Napo's comments on Keta tidal wave. Napo has been trending from last week till today by reason of some comments he made on another platform relative to the tidal waves in Qatar, and he indicated that if the reason for the refusal of the budget is because the issue in Qatar was not factored in the budget, then if it is indeed added a little later, then he's going to embark on a demonstration with his constituents in Ashanti region. It's quite interesting, quite revealing. These and many more are the issues that we've tabled for our conversation this morning. Here with me in the studio is our very own, the one and only, the beautiful, the affable Mami Efua Wajeto. Deputy National Women's Organizer for the NDC. Good morning, Mami.
Good morning.
I trust you're well.
I'm well.
You missed my deep voice.
I've missed you too much. I haven't seen you in ages.
And I've been watching you on air.
How were your exams?
Splendid.
Oh,
Splendid.
We missed you too much.
Splendid.
We wish you the very best.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Very kind indeed. Thank you very much. Nana Desmond Kojo Into. Good morning. I've added Kojo to your name, I know.
You've added Kojo this morning.
Are you Kojo?
I'm not Kojo, Kwame. I'm your namesake. I'm
Kwame.
Yeah.
I know where
Charlie.
Desmond Nana Kwame Into. Good morning.
Good morning.
I trust you're well. He's a free thinker, actually. He's a free thinker, a believer of democracy and governance.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And our very own soprano, Sapon Sylvester, Communications Director for the CPP. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I trust you're well.
Yes, I miss you, sir.
Now you know who your panelists are.
But of course.
And don't you think you are missing something?
Clearly, I have
an apology is indeed.
Would you want it in closed door, closed chambers?
Kwame,
In camera. I was trying to watch our dirty lady in public. Anyway, so for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, kindly share with us what your thoughts are. The Facebook live stream is up now. Just leave a comment underneath and we will be more than willing to read them out here for you. Those of you who have my personal Facebook page on Instagram and Twitter, you can leave me a personal message on those platforms and be sure that I will try and read as many as I can here on the show. Let's kickstart the conversation with COVID-19 and what has been transpiring in the aftermath of the discovery of Omicron in South Africa. As you are very much aware, you know that there's been some travel bans across the country, across the world really, and it has got to do with the fact that the perception, albeit questionable, is that South Africa is the producers of Omicron. But we'll get into the nitty-gritties of all of that. Let me start with you, Nananto, on this COVID-19 Omicron variant ban on African countries. This is quite strange, really.
Very strange, Kwame. First of all, let me say a very good morning to yourself and to Nanefua.
Mame
Fua. You know, Mame. Nana and Mame.
Yes.
Yeah, always.
There's a symbiotic relationship.
They have something in common. You see? That's right. That's right.
So the Mames are.
Anyway. I want to add Mame to my name.
But you know, Mame goes with Nana. So just Nana.
No. Nana is Nana. Mame is Mame.
Or you think because there's some Nana in court who is, you know.
I beg you. I'm not on that boat with you. Anyway. By the way, there's this series that I want you guys to see. It's called The Last Kingdom.
Okay.
The Last Kingdom.
The Last Kingdom.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Lovely.
Last Kingdom.
Lovely.
Okay.
Last Kingdom. Please. Please do. And then also how to become a tyrant.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. So it
That's
tells you.
sensitive.
No.
Serious.
Serious, Charlie.
Seriously. Like seriously.
So we need to.
No, but it tells you all the tricks
that
these tyrants use in order to gain popularity and also in order to gain control of countries and things like that. So it talks about what's this guy's name? This brutal tyrant in USSR. What's his name again?
Stalin.
No, not Stalin.
Putin.
Hitler. No, Hitler was in Germany. Yes,
yeah.
Hitler was in Germany. But it talks about all of those other guys. In fact, it brings in even Gaddafi and all those. But Gaddafi is not a tyrant, as we know. But it brings in Gaddafi and how they are able to take control.
So it's more like authoritarianism.
But it teaches you a lot. Sure. So when you see what some other presidents are doing, you are able to tell that these guys are smart. They build a certain media cabal. They build their PR game is strong, very strong, and they know how to talk. So before you know it, they have the people behind them, and then they are just messing around. That's how they do it. It's very beautiful. Just watch it.
They build the machinery.
They build
just push the information
and the way they are, their orator skills is unbelievable. The way they talk. The series teaches you how they try to hit the nerve center of people's imagination. So, for instance, they tell you that I'm with you, like we're in a struggle together. You know, like I'm your brother. I'm struggling with you. For instance, what somebody else did, you know, in the run up to the 20 days, eating with people, saying that, oh, you know, I'm also a Ghanaian. We are the farmer. We are struggling. If you wake up and then market woman, that's how they put it. Yeah, that's how they put it. Anyway, that's it, by the way.
That was very interesting. That was very interesting.
Yep. How to become a tyrant. How to become a tyrant, and then the last kingdom. The last kingdom obviously is about, you know, how England became.
Oh, okay.
And things like that. It's actually very
but Kwame, it looks like it relate to.
As you talk about movies, for instance, I'm inundated by the you know, prevalence of these telenovelas from these other countries.
Yeah.
And it is taken because they translate in Chi. Okay, the local dialect is taken away from our indigenous or homegrown movie business.
That's true.
But the question I'm asking is, so couldn't people like Lil Wen and the Kuma would, you know, industry
come together to do something
and simply copy the storyline? If the storyline is what is hitting, I mean, they could frame their stories along those lines and then do it the way we do it, using our indigenous language and our, you know, their antics and stuff.
You
like
know,
that.
I don't know why people watch. I don't know why people watch movies. I watch movies for different reasons. I pick from the story, the theme, like, you know, what the story is about and how it can absolutely and how it can relate to me and the people around me. That's why I watch movies. So for the last kingdom, for instance, I'm learning so many things.
Okay.
You know how it gets to a point where there are conspirators against the regime and establishment, and even when the king is as nice as anybody could be, he still have people who are, you know, trying to usurp his authority and things like that. So I mean, there are so many different twists to it. It's very, very interesting. Just watch those.
That's what I just said.
The Last Kingdom. Now let's go to Omicron and see whether the Last Kingdom or the How to Become a Tyrant is applying. So let's apply the facts to the case.
So, Kwame, thank you, Kwame. Let me also say a very good morning to my brother.
Hello, my brother.
It's been a while.
Yes, sir. It's been a while.
I hope you are doing great.
By the grace.
Okay. Kwame, you see.
You say hello to your sister.
Oh, I did. In fact,
It's been a while.
Forgive my manners. But in fact, you were the first person I said good morning to. I even said Nanefia, and you said
we didn't hear. Okay, we didn't hear.
Kwame. Kwame.
Yes.
This morning, I don't want to start.
He's in a good mood, so let's flow.
Thank you. I don't want to relate to any Last Kingdom and any tyrant issue, please.
Sorry.
Okay. Kwame.
Yes, my boss.
You see, at this time of the season, in quote, travel bans from Africa to various countries in the world. What has triggered that? And they are talking about Omicron. Is that not it?
Yeah, Omicron. I don't know where they get the names from.
That was exactly what I was about to ask. COVID-19. Omicron.
Something.
They have a way of naming the hurricanes in the US. Maybe that's,
you see, when I was learning computer software in the year 1996 thereabout, we were learning programming and we were taught how to do programming. Now, whilst we were learning, we were made to believe that programmers will intentionally create virus so that they will come out with antivirus, sell it out to people for people to buy, and then they get money out of it.
The big pharma industry.
I am thinking, and I'm choosing my words carefully, that what is happening now in the world, if I'm not mistaken, then what I was taught in the 1990s is what is happening. Because as it stands now, a virus comes out, a country comes out and say, I am coming out with a vaccine. The whole world followed that country to get a vaccine, just because a virus is in the system. And so if I am not mistaken, then it means that somebody out there created that virus, and out of trying to get money from the virus that it has been created, then came the vaccine. But hey, Kwame, we need to be very careful because the virus is out there. We need to protect ourselves. All the time I tell my people that, look, when you go out there, try to adhere to the protocols. That is the only way we can be safe. Thankfully, our weather here is a bit different compared to the others outside. So whenever the virus comes on board, it easily attacks them rather than we here in Africa. But I'm surprised now they are claiming that Africa now has a virus and they don't want us to come to their country. And so I am beginning to have the impression that, look, it is a way of trying to separate Africa from the rest of the world. Because if care is not taken, a time will come. They will just tell us, look, if you have not been vaccinated, don't come to my country. And indeed, that is what is happening. Because if you don't have you've not been vaccinated, you can't travel outside. But ask yourself, this virus, where did it come from? People brought it through aeroplane. People sat in aeroplane and brought it. I have never heard somebody who came through road or by ship and said, oh, he came from UK through road and he has gotten the virus. People travel with it on the plane. So for me, I am thinking and I'm suspecting that it is a virus that has something to do with our various aircraft. And so we need to do thorough investigation. We need to make sure that people can be able to get, scientists can go around it and find out where that particular virus came from. Because for me, I am still thinking that my small programming I did, how to program and make sure that you create a virus in the system, come out with antivirus, and at the end of the day, you sell it to your clients or you sell it to people. That is what is happening.
Two things come to mind in respect of this conversation. One, because of COVID-19 and its ravaging effects, we have forgotten about all other ailments, particularly HIV, AIDS.
Thank you.
You know, all the other cancer and things like that. And I'm wondering how we'll be able to deal with this going, because if you look at even the current stats for HIV and AIDS, it's skyrocketed.
Yeah.
You know, the numbers have just shot up. But I can appreciate why, because all our focus and attention have been drifted and we are only looking at COVID-19 and how we can get vaccines for it. Africa is even worse, because Africa, by our very existence, I don't know why, but we fail to look beyond a particular situation. So when there's a situation or when there's a problem, our focus and attention, you know, is always on that as opposed to other things. So we relegate those things to the back. And then you realize that later, in the years to come, the things that we've relegated to the back will now come back to haunt us. Ghana is no exception. You know, I think last week sometime, there were reports about the rates of the numbers they've recorded in terms of HIV and AIDS and things like that.
And even
in Accra, over 398,000 people.
Fever up there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Tuberculosis, CSM, and things like that.
Yeah.
So how do we?
But you see,
that's one aspect of the conversation.
But you know, because of this COVID issue, people are even scared of going to the hospital.
Oh yeah.
And so people are really sick.
Yeah.
But for them to go out there to the hospital, for them to get medication because of COVID, they don't want to go.
Okay, let me come to you, Soprano. Yes, Mami, I'll come to you last, if you don't mind. Let me come to you, Soprano. Now, look, and I want you to stay on this for me, because it's very important.
Yes, sir.
COVID-19 raises a number of economic deficiencies. And the fact that perhaps about time for Africans to begin to look within the continent and do things for ourselves. Enough of the mea culpa, even if we've not offended anybody and things like that. But this brings to the fore whether or not it has become important now more than ever to now trade amongst ourselves, to now travel within the African continent and trade and things like that. Because why travel to, for instance, the UK by reason of just wanting to travel and no other reason? Because people just travel to the UK just to go and live there and work and contribute to their GDPs or GNPs and things like that. Don't you think this is the time? COVID-19 is teaching us that we don't need to continue to rely or depend on foreign aid or the interrelationship or the relationship really that we have with some other foreign partners in order to survive. Don't you think that is teaching us something? The discovery of Omicron was done in South Africa. It means that we have the wherewithal. You understand? So, is it not the time? Is this time not the right time for us to have such conversations, which conversations will now bring about proper cohesion, and that which we've always been looking to see as proposed or espoused by ourselves, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Well, Kwame, good morning. Good morning so much, and my best regards to all listeners around the world. And boy, isn't this an exciting, opportunity? That's how I see it. It raises several geopolitical questions.
Yep.
And it also harkens back to the vision of the president of Ghana, independence president of Ghana, President Kwame Nkrumah, when he talked about the fact that the independence of Ghana is meaningless without the total liberation of Africa. So you see President Nana Akufo-Addo following through on that sentiment, because indeed, if we do not stand together, if Ghana is not on the list, but if we don't go and stand with our brothers on the list, it's just a question of time before they say that we are on the list. And I think that President Akufo-Addo has picked a nice page from the Kwame Nkrumah playbook with regards to, standing in solidarity with South Africa and the other African countries who are suffering this injustice. And also, I listened to the president this morning, and he talked about the Africa free trade area. Okay, he linked the two, and that is what I'm also doing, because I see, that there's something in common here. This is an extraordinary opportunity for Africa to find homegrown solutions. Okay, for a lot of challenges. For instance, Kwame, you notice that with regards to vaccines, over the past 10 years or so, I think that Africa is in an extraordinarily good position to be able to, play a substantial role in the development and management of vaccines and these viruses. This is because over the past 10 years, we've had some of the most serious viral attack challenges in Africa. I'm talking about Ebola. I'm talking about help me out here. There's Ebola. There's another one, SARS, and these bleeding, fevers that cause you to bleed through your nose, ears, and stuff like that. And then HIV, and South Africa, where it used to be that there was a stigma that South Africans have HIV. But what has happened is that in our efforts to sort of contain all of these challenges, our scientists have really gotten good, and we have acquired high quality, cutting edge scientific equipment that enables us to be able to, identify new variants of, say, COVID-19, such as the Omicron. Okay, and so I just want to congratulate the South Africans for, being on the cutting edge, because essentially that is what they are, on the cutting edge. Want to, use the opportunity to also give my regards to the people at Noguchi Memorial. They have those kinds of capabilities. And, speaking for myself, and I think a lot of Ghanaians, we are proud of the Noguchi Memorial Institute. And of course, we appreciate the Japanese, without whom would still be wallowing in, abject disease. You see, so if you go to Congo also has very good expertise, in these areas. So what has happened is that now Africa is actually a leading player with regards to tackling viral infections. You understand? One could even say that we have what it takes to not only stop the virus, but possibly to even manipulate its DNA and create a new virus, which wouldn't necessarily be a non-interesting item. You understand? If we are able to create our own virus, that will be good. I mean, it's not bad. So now, apart from that, what I also see is that the action of the Europeans, and I wanted to, just draw your attention. I was looking on my phone a couple of days ago, and some European newspapers. I just wanted to briefly, some European newspapers are actually saying that they did a cartoon. Okay, so there's this cartoon, and I just want to, Kwame, it's worth giving me a minute to identify the cartoon so that we contribute it to this conversation because it's profound. But essentially, what the cartoon is saying is that Europeans have made a cartoon about Africans coming to Europe with Omicron to come and infect Europeans. Okay, and so they are doing their usual stuff where they caricature black people and make us out to be yeah. I'll find it out and send it to you. Yeah. So the Spanish are doing that, the Germans are doing that, laughing at us as bearers of Omicron on a lifeboat, with South Africa's flag on it, and they've drawn black people with thick red lips and some alien like ears protruding. So what I'm saying here is that now the COVID-19 virus and its subsequent developments concerning that virus has led to it has exposed some of the Europeans as just plain racist. You understand? And we just want our fellow Africans to take note of that and not be too bothered. There are still remnants of racism in the West, and we just have to deal with it. But more importantly, and I think for me, what I really take from this is that Africa, it is time for us to really trade amongst ourselves. Kwame, people say that, if I want to have a product and I want to trade, maybe I want to ship it to Europe or to America, okay, because they assume that is where there's purchasing power. But I want to draw the attention of African entrepreneurs to the fact that when we look at our African continent collectively, at the 54 capitals, I'm saying that the purchasing power in each capital city in Africa is very cosmopolitan, okay, and that we should strive to be really, trading amongst ourselves, at least in the capital cities. It is also an opportunity for our leaders to begin to think about, integration just beyond paper. I'm talking about integration using transportation systems. These are very critical, and one of the reasons why the EU worked is because they have an elaborate, effective railway system. You understand? And I appreciate that President of Ghana today has been talking about railways. My favorite minister ever in President Akufo-Addo's government was Honorable Joe Garte. Very astute man. Unfortunately, because he wants to succeed President Akufo-Addo and solve the problems President Akufo-Addo couldn't solve, and all this tumbling and fumbling by President Akufo-Addo, Honorable Joe Garte wanted to lead MPP to solve it, but I think he's not one of the family and friends.
Thank you.
So, but Kwame, I'm just landing. Yes. I'm just landing. So please, in London, all I'm saying is that Kwame, you see, in America, and this is what I just want to say and get off. In America, the transcontinental railway was not necessarily built by the state. You see, in Africa, I want the youth to go and Google transcontinental railways in America. Let's look at how they did it, and let's try and build an intra-African railway network. That is when we wouldn't care whether the UK Boris Johnson wants us to come there or not. Who wants to go and see Boris Johnson anyway? Thank you, Kwame.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say a special good morning to those of you who are watching us from the United States of America. I know Ibrahim Boss is watching us from New Jersey. Also, there are a few others who are watching us from Italy. Good Light Saki is watching us from Italy. Maranello, I hope I got it right, Ferrari City in Italy. Polus is also watching us from Castle American Town Kinky House. So for those of the other messages which has got to do with the E-levy, I've seen them all. I'll read them here on the show. Now, Reo Minho says, it's unfortunate we are greedy and selfish, therefore we keep betraying ourselves with impunity. I like that. Mesut Santos says he's watching us from Iwang. I don't know if it's Iwang or Ewang from Sweden. Thank you very kindly. Then this one is from Mohammed Abdul Razak Ali, and he says, good morning to you, KOD. Africans have caused our own problems. The travel ban for the travel ban to be placed on them, because they quickly announced that they discovered Omicron just to seek loans for consumption like they did with COVID-19. If not, how can Ghana, with only 30 million people, be the second country in the world to have Omicron? is interesting twist to this matter. Anyway, I want to believe that you are only making allegations, but there are no evidence to back this claim. So I'll just leave it at that. Mami, let me come to you on this subject matter, please.
Yeah, Kwame.
Yes, boss.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I think that it is time that our African leaders look within Africa. It is important, and I think it's just long overdue. COVID, for me, has been a blessing in disguise. COVID, to start with, taught Africans that God has been on our side. The sun has been so good to us. Our herbal medication has been so great for us. And somehow, we didn't, we didn't get sick or blow up our numbers like the foreign countries thought we would do. They really thought that creating this COVID-19 will really destroy Africa, and it didn't. To start with, I'd like to say, for me, as far as I'm concerned, this whole COVID-19, I see it as a scam. It's a whole pharmaceutical scam, where they create, just like my brother here is saying, they create the virus and ask the whole world to purchase their antivirus, their products, all these masks that we wear. Where is it coming from? It's coming from China. It's business. Do you know, every Ghanaian wears this. And how many do you wear? Because of my makeup and all of that, I wear like 3 in a day. Apart from all the equipment we use, the hand sanitizers, the equipment we use in the hospitals and all of that. It's just to make the Western countries and Asian countries rich, because together they came up with this. It's just a big pharmaceutical scam. All the same, it has happened. It is here, okay? And I just think that God has been Africa has been blessed. The sun has been our savior. Our herbs has been our savior. And so we got out of this. When you look at the numbers, we were just lucky. Now they've come up with Omicron. I just think that it's time that our African leaders learn to consolidate with each other, learn to unite with each other, and look for, try to solve our problems within ourselves. We have money. We can generate some money to take care of ourselves, if not for our leaders not being greedy and living opulent lifestyles. We have African leaders who do not even pride or wear African designers. I love Nelson Mandela for something. When Nelson Mandela was alive, Nelson Mandela wore Okujeto shirts. Mauli Okujeto shirts. And that was promoting African design. Look, as a continent, we are about 51 country in Africa, okay? 54, right? And every country has a strength. So let's assume that the South Africa, when it comes to technology, research, science, and all of that, does better than we do. So why don't we all focus on them and support them? When it comes to the food baskets, let's say the Western African provide more, can support the rest of Africa with food. When it comes, there's so much we can do to support each other. I think that as Africans, we must learn to appreciate what we have. We must learn to work with what we have. And we need leaders who can understand the African story and live the African lifestyle. Here we have the African leaders who, they like to live the style of not even European politicians or Western politicians, but they like to live the style of Hollywood stars. They take private jets, spend so much. I still can't fathom how a government like ours here in Ghana, okay, with all the revenue shortage we have, still saying that everybody they want to expand the tax net and all of that, and yet you fly 15,000 pounds an hour, and you know how many hours he flies? 10 hours in, 10 hours back, forgetting the hotels he lives in, forgetting the designer suits he's wearing, forgetting the entourage and their per diem, forgetting. You ask yourself that why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why would leaders do this to us as Africans? What examples are we setting for the younger generation? what story are we telling them? You know, so if African leaders can be more sacrificial and live the African story, want to, you know, their legacy should be telling the African story, should be doing, the African story is a beautiful one. We are unique. Kwame, our weather is different from the weather out there.
Absolutely.
So what we wear should work with almost every African country. You understand me? Our character we should appreciate each other's culture and character. There's so much we have in common, and there's so much we don't have in common at the same time. There's so much diversity, if I should put it like that. So for me, I just think that it's important that as an African person or an African leader, we have to retell the African story. Right. We have to make sure that we trade amongst ourselves, and it's just time that we start trading amongst ourselves. We start working amongst ourselves. It is important that we benefit from each other's strength. We have to benefit from each other's strength. We have to make sure that at the end of the day, we are turning the story around. And that is what we need to do. We need to turn the story around. Absolutely. My brother here was talking about transportation. I mean, sometimes traveling from one African country to the other is so expensive. And you ask yourself why. You understand me? So I think that the more we work with ourselves and within Africa, we will improve the African story. First of all, transportation is key. We have to make sure that we commute easily from one African country to the other. We must make sure that trade is made easier from one African country to the other. We must make sure that our currency is as similar as we can. You know, we should be able to trade with the same currency. We should be able to do medical tourism within Africa. And these are very key issues. We are black, we are unique, we are different, and we understand and respect each other. And there's nothing more than respecting ourselves and having leaders that respect and understand us, and making sure that at the end of the day, we thrive. If we say that all African countries, all the 54 African countries will come together, and we decide that for 1 year, we will not trade any, any mineral whatsoever, any of our resources to any Western country, but we're going to trade amongst ourselves.
They will crash.
They will crash. They will crash. They will crash.
No, what
so if we can't,
all governments, so
if all African countries come together and say that we are not trading with any West African country, because after all, we have Omicron. Omicron.
No, Africa.
So yes, Africa, all the 54 countries. So Ghana has gold. What can we do with our fellow African countries to make sure that
what do we have that they don't have?
Yes,
that we can, you know,
we can trade off. We have other African countries that have diamond. What can we do that we can trade off and be healthier? You know, we have Africa. You know, there's so much we can do, bauxite and all of that.
Tourism,
yes. So you leave the stronger countries to do the mechanization, to do the industrialization. You leave the other parts of Africa who have beautiful sun to do the farming and all of that. Support each other.
Infrastructure, we can bring people from South Africa to come and help build our roads and things like that.
I mean, when we work within, and even tourism, tourism within the African country is unique.
Absolutely.
And then it's transport related as well.
Yes, it's transport related.
Absolutely.
So if we can come together, if our leaders can come together, I just wish that our leaders are listening to us, our leaders will think like us, our leaders would appreciate the fact that together as African countries, there's so much we can do. And there's so much, if we come together, the Western countries will crash.
Yeah, absolutely. And
they will crash.
And I like this line of argument. Coming together does not necessarily mean we should have one president of Africa.
No.
We can have different independent sovereign countries.
But we work with
together,
each other.
You know, work together.
We don't have to have one president. But we just have to work like the European Union did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you.
Have you ever heard any African company moving to any of these European countries to go and construct?
It's not possible.
No.
So
they don't make it possible.
It's not possible.
But they are all here.
They are all here.
Because you see...
Yes, you may.
In the conversation between President Ramaphosa and Ghanaians.
Well, you mentioned Ramaphosa.
Thank you for the correction. The President Ramaphosa, Cyril, and his conversation with Ghanaians, because he spoke to us. He talked about the fact that Ghanaians should invest more in South Africa. I think it's a profound statement.
It is.
Yeah. Now people may think that we don't have money to go and invest, but I'm telling you that if you go and open a shoemaking store in Johannesburg,
you make money.
It's a small investment, but South Africans, and if President Ramaphosa is listening, then they should understand that sure, Africans will come and invest in South Africa, but ours are not going to be like European, American type investments. But these are the little items from a critical mass. And then the key item is the issue of currency. Kwame, in future, maybe I'll maybe you do a show about it. But I think that Bitcoin offers a way out for African countries to trade, minus the encumbrances of the international finance cartels such as the World Bank and the IMF.
Okay, you know what? So James has given me a different perspective to this conversation.
Sure.
It's not that we don't know, but he just brought it to the front burner. James says it can never work because the African leaders are criminals. They only come together to defend their personal interests after they've stolen from their countries. So I mean, I think latently he's referring to the African Union, for instance, and its role that it plays. Because the African Union should be seen to be singled out as the investigators of Omicron. And by reason of that, they are creating caricatures.
They're making cartoons of Africans.
Absolutely. So cartoons of Africans, but in a caricature form. So I mean, African Union and its usefulness, I think, has been outlived.
No, but
and perhaps we might decide not to even have African Union. We can have African colleagues. You know what I'm saying? Who agree and work together. Because Mamefwa says something very profound, that we can decide to trade amongst ourselves, right? It must not necessarily mean that we should have an African Union before we trade amongst ourselves.
No.
Once we have common interests, once we believe that we can trade amongst ourselves, you bring something that I don't have, I bring something that you don't have, that is the beginning of a very workable relationship for the purposes of advancing each other's countries in terms of development. So I believe what Mamefwa is saying is the way to go. Is the way to go. I hope SADA and
but one thing
East
that
African
also baffles my mind is that
East African community and all those
as it stands now, the Western world have realized that South Africa
it's a bigger force to reckon with. It's a bigger force. So let's just taint them.
They find a way of attacking the strongest party in Africa.
That is it.
They always find a way of attacking the strongest person in Africa or the strongest country. When they realize that you are strong, that is when they come to attack you.
Number of messages are pouring in. We will halt the ones that are relating to the E-levy and things like that.
All
right.
Because we are going on demonstration.
Because you guys are going on demonstration.
Yes, on Wednesday.
Justice for something.
Justice for Ghana.
For Ghana.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to give me at least some 2 minutes to talk about.
Like I said, today is the 6th. Tomorrow is the 7th. 3 years from tomorrow, there will be an election. Who is going to win? I have my reservations. I don't want to run faster than my legs can carry me, so I'll just perish whatever thought I have now, hoping that I would be able to see something different that will make me change my current position. But I'll leave it. I'm not going to comment on it.
With the mischief you have in your cheeks.
You can see,
With the mischief
you can read from his lips.
I want to tell you that Ghanaians are tired of this criminal.
Ghanaians, maybe, you see, let me say something.
For this criminal
let me say something. You see, there's this perception, albeit erroneous, that there are only two political parties that, can change and be changed. So we're looking at the NDC and the MPP. That's the perception we all have. It's an unfortunate perception.
Yeah.
But in as much as we can all agree that this particular administration is not really performing to the best of its ability, we should not also be quick to assume that to change this government would mean to bring the NDC back. That is the perception that we have. Okay. And I think we should begin to watch it closely. Particularly the NDC.
Could you repeat what you just said, please?
I have not said anything. Let me move on. No, I mean, because I sit, and I know I'll be hanged for saying this, because I sit and sometimes I wonder.
What's happening?
How different is this from the other?
Precisely the point.
No, because you have to.
There's a lot of.
There's a
lot of.
I know behind.
Same.
We need to leave it to Ghanaians to judge.
It is not the same.
We leave it to Ghanaians to judge.
Comrades. The upkeep of this leadership.
I don't think
cannot
this will help
be
us.
compared to
Let me move
NDC's leadership.
It doesn't mean the NDC was not opulent.
NDC
was just not as over opulent.
No.
So it's like,
I mean, are you?
It's like you are bad, I am bad. But who's bad is the bad?
No. Who's bad is the bad? It's like somebody was just hanged for not doing the crime that they claim he was committed.
But
all right, you guys have had the opportunity to run the case.
Yes, sir. If you ask me,
if
you ask me, this is the worst government.
I don't think we've all doubted that.
Yes.
So we are all in agreement.
So
we are all in agreement. However, the fact that we are in agreement should not also mean that.
Anyway,
let me just.
CPP can come to power.
Oh, CPP. As for
likely to come to power.
As for CPP is
PNC can come to power.
When we were talking about independence, people thought we were ridiculous. You see, so we intend to prove the Ghanaian people.
But you see, people thought you were joking.
Yeah.
But they didn't think you were incapable. These are two different things.
Okay. Sure.
Because at the time you had a leader who had vision and foresight.
It's all about leadership.
It's all about leadership. Do you currently within your party have somebody who is even close to the tone, the tone name of Osajo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to want to suggest, because all the people you've had, what are their names? Abu Sakara, Indum, who else? Green Street. You, as you are sitting here, do you genuinely, from within your heart of heart, not being political, not being partisan, not partisan?
Yes, I'll be nationalistic.
Think that these people can be compared even to the shirt of Osajo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Kwame, I think that's an unfair question.
Why?
Because President Kwame Nkrumah is in a class of his own.
Beautiful.
So nobody compares himself to him.
But you see, but you always, your political party always finds solace in Osajo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah when it matters. You always refer, go back and refer. We are the people of Osajo Dr. You always, yes. But
that's what President Akufo.
But if your people are greedy, your people are selfish, your people are individualistic and all of that, how do you think you can win power from? Because NDC is a strong force. Don't doubt it.
On the ground party.
Absolutely.
That we are about to uproot.
Yes. Underground of NDC.
When I say you are on the ground party, it means a grassroots organization.
Okay.
But the people
NPP is a strong political party
of the same caliber, in the same hierarchy.
You see,
and they've run this country into the ground.
And NPP does it nicely. They find a way of tribalizing politics. And it's working for them.
It is working for them.
It is working for them. I don't know about the NDC. I'm yet to still study the NDC.
I think that
I don't know what the NDC stands for. Whether now they are capitalist, socialist, political. I don't know.
You see, Kwame, from
honestly, I don't know whether it's
Kwame, I don't know where you slept last night. This morning.
No, from a middle ground. The NDC.
This morning.
I saw
Kwame, the NDC is almost an everyday party like the CPP. Almost. You see, we are the veranda boys.
I know.
The NDC was almost like that. But for instance, if you take a look at President Mahama and his team and the way they were living the bourgeoisie lifestyle, it wasn't comparable to President Akufo. But I don't think President Mahama was not eating salad at the Flagstaff House.
I'm telling you. Let's be truthful to ourselves. Until this CPP, GCPP, PPP come together, they should forget. You guys will have to come together.
I agree.
PNC, CPP, GCPP, PPP. come together.
So the question is,
and indeed, even members of the NDC,
you are not willing to come
want
together.
to come
but
back
then
with-
the question is, why are they not coming together?
That is the question.
Thank you. He can't answer.
No, Kwame, you didn't ask me.
I can answer.
You didn't ask me.
Should I answer for you?
This is actually not one of the topics.
Since my party is
It's
on
just
the
two
table,
words.
please,
Look
refer
of
to
you.
me. Please, I think that there are two types of leadership, okay?
Sure.
One leader makes so much noise but does not perform. Another leader, that's why they say empty barrels make the most noise.
Yeah.
Another leader is full of wisdom, does not make the noise that this leader makes.
MPP
but
people would disagree
performs.
with you.
That is why there is a saying that effort does not count as much as results.
Sure.
In some corporate institutions, they'll tell you yes. You can scratch and make whatever effort you can, but result is what matters.
Okay,
but
NDC is a result-oriented
with respect,
party.
just a minute.
NDC is one party that has challenged some of
Kwame
Nkrumah's legacy.
Okay.
Kwame, we cannot let her
When
ride
it comes
away
to,
with
I
just,
mean,
Ghanaians
health
do
centers,
have a choice.
schools,
Ghanaians do have a choice. We do have a choice beyond MPP.
You cannot match NDC.
But Kwame,
in this country.
when she compares the NDC to the NPP as the benchmark by which Ghanaians should measure our progress, I'm very, very sad. You understand?
But why is CPP?
No, it's not even about CPP. It's not even about CPP. Just because the CPP is not showing up, doesn't mean that we should continue down into the abyss.
But who is forcing you to stay in the abyss?
No. We are not in the abyss. Ghana is headed into the abyss. Directed by President Mahama and President Akufo-Addo. Hold on. Who should come together? When you say come together, are you saying that there's maybe I have a CPP guy hiding that I'm not bringing to come together? What is happening? Bear with me.
Okay.
What is happening is that it is you that should come to join the CPP
because that is what the problem is.
Hold on.
That is the problem.
The CPP is as attractive as a party that is not taking Ghana's mind.
You want to sit down and expect that people will come to you.
No, don't show one from what do you want me to come and do to you? Come and carry you? Please, let's come and join the CPP. No. And let's not solve these issues.
In those days when CPP we are on top, it's dead. It is dead.
But listen, when we working on it, Kwame, it's not dead. It's not dead. We are not as strong as the other parties. You understand? But just because we are not strong like NDC, just because we've not had the opportunity to accumulate portions of the public purse. Yes, as the NDC has done, as the Akufo-Addo's party continues to do. You understand? Just because we've not had access to the public purse, and just because we are really national.
Why? You see?
Why? Why? Because we've not. No, because we've not. No, it's simple.
Why have we not been able to come to power? Why?
Because of unfair political wins.
How?
For instance, in 1992, you asked me a question.
Yes,
in 1992, we formed the Great Alliance with President Rawlings's NDC. And then you remember the case of domestic violence.
Alliance with who?
The CPP body.
In 1991.
1992, under the leadership of Vice President Kwame Nkrumah, the remnants of the CPP from President Liman's time.
Yes.
We formed the Great Alliance with President Rawlings's NDC. And then there was the issue of domestic violence, where President Rawlings brutally assaulted Vice President Akar. You all know this.
Was there a proof to that?
Please. And then you remember what happened was that
then you switched camps.
No, we didn't. The alliance. No, hold on. No, please bear with me. The alliance, did not continue because of the assault on the vice president. But what had occurred was that because the NDC won the election in 1992, they gave a lot of good positions to our members, CPP members who had joined the NDC. And those people remained behind, from one Munufie to Bawumia's father to Honorable President's father,
Mahama.
Mr. President Mahama himself. I know. So what I'm saying is that our members were stolen from us, using the public purse. I'm telling you that.
Okay, hold on.
You understand? So
hold on.
But of course, you use Ghana money to steal our party.
Use your screams and your shouting.
Please go ahead.
That's the matter.
But of course,
that's not even up for discussion. But the point is that all these things that you are mentioning is actually casting a slur on your party. That you don't have men with integrity in your party. That you have men who can easily be swayed with money That is your problem.
Is that what you are saying?
That is what you are saying.
Then let me tell you, Kwame, when you say that, it's a very loaded statement. Members of our party include Honorable Kwesi Pratt Jr. It includes Kweku Baku Jr.
Have they left your party?
It includes Ninoy Dowona.
Have they left
all these people
have they left your
party?
You
said that our party, what you said about our party, I'm just a recent member compared to some of those people. So Kwame, when you make a statement,
have they left your party?
Well, are they still in our party?
Have they left? You are in a better position.
I don't even know. Yes, that is how profound it is. Let us not pretend that we don't see what is happening in this country. What is happening is that leading members of the CPP are speaking for the NDC and the NPP.
Is that true?
Please,
which people?
For example, Honorable Kwesi Pratt Jr., in my opinion, seems to be speaking a lot for President Mahama. And on the other side, Honorable Kweku Baku is rightfully President Akufo-Addo's spokesperson.
I see. So when
you say that, hold on. When you say that our people are doing intellectual, but of course.
So as you are sitting here,
yes, sir, Kwame.
You,
yes, sir,
countless number of times you criticize President Akufo-Addo.
Yes, sir.
You criticize his government.
Yes, sir.
You criticize his policies.
Yes,
you speak for the NDC.
I speak for the CPP.
Exactly. So the fact that somebody criticizes President Akufo-Addo and criticizes his government, criticizes the things that he does, does not mean that they speak for the NDC. So on that score, with respect, you erred. And you must,
you took me out of context. I didn't say that. I'm here right now. And what I said is that it appears to me. You see, this is my impression. You're asking me for my impression.
Yeah, so
I gave you my Sopranos impression.
And on the basis of your impression, this is a very fundamental question.
Sure.
Which is a fact that you speak against this government
and the NDC government.
Hold on, does that on countless number of occasions? So are you saying that the people that you mentioned, for instance, Honorable Kwesi Pratt, he doesn't speak against the NDC sometimes?
Listen,
when it's necessary,
please. What do you mean? When you say when it's necessary? What do you mean when it's necessary? How do you determine what is necessary?
Because the NDC is not in government. It's the NDC.
No, hold on, Kwame. You see, my opinion, my honest, candid opinion is that. Honorable Kwesi Pratt Jr. speaks a lot for the NDC. And he seems to like the NDC a lot.
See. So do you like the NDC? You, as you are sitting here, do you like the NDC?
Yes.
You like the NDC?
Yes.
Do you speak for the NDC?
But of course not.
Do you speak against the government?
Of President Akufo-Addo?
Yes.
I'm an
does that make you an NDC member?
I'm an opposition person.
Does that make you an NDC member?
No, it does not.
It makes you an opposition member.
Sure.
But it doesn't make you an NDC member.
Please, your questioning is misconstruing my personal opinion.
But your personal opinion must be founded on substance.
But it is on substance.
What is your substance?
My substance is what I've asserted. Kwame, don't take my word for it. Go on the street and find out what people think about Honorable Pratt's statements with regards to NDC.
But
don't take my word for it.
Do you know the messages I get from the MPP people? When
Kwame, do you know the messages I get about people from you and from what they tell me as the DOC for CPP?
But my simple question: what's the job of an opposition party? You have to keep the government on its toes.
Well, I mean,
so if the government, that is it.
Sure. So what's the point?
Anyway. So if someone is in opposition,
the question stems from the fact that he's saying that the CPP members are taking money. No, and I'm telling you that if that is the regard, then me, I even joined the party about 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
Don't obfuscate matters. I never said. No, I never said.
When we play back,
I never said. Did I say CPP members take?
You were you were saying that our members are corrupt. And they've been taking money. That's why the party is not strong.
I read a message that was sent to me by a viewer, and I asked you to respond to that. And you told me that Mohammed's father, you mentioned a few other people, and said that they stayed in the NDC because they took money. That's what you said.
No, that is because the what?
Yeah, because you said they were bought with money.
I said that they used the public purse to steal our members. But when you say they took money,
what does that mean?
You can. Reconfigure it any way you want. But I think my words are self-evident.
Interesting. Let's proceed. But it's quite strange.
Kwame, I'm telling the truth. That is all I'm about.
That's your truth.
But of course.
But doesn't make it the truth.
I agree.
So that's your perception.
That's what I've been insisting upon. And from where I stand.
And clearly.
So as it stands now.
Yes.
That we are going on, so that we are going on demonstration on Wednesday.
No,
it means that everyone who is going on that is an NDC.
Yes, that's what.
No. Me, I don't go for these demonstrations because of the sometimes the police shoot people. Last time they shot somebody's eye. Yeah,
no.
I'm afraid of the Ghana police that they might a stray bullet might kill me. Look at what happened at
then you
I'm not
struggle for your
demonstration.
Then you
but I'll send you 20 cities. I'll send you 20 cities to buy ice water.
No,
but I'm not coming so that the police shoot my eye.
Keep your 20 cities. Keep your 20 cities.
But you
don't want to turn up.
That is my point. That's why I'm afraid to go to this demonstration.
Don't shout.
Forgive me.
Don't shout. Don't shout.
That's why I'm afraid to go to this demonstration.
Don't shout. Don't shout. Relax,
my brother.
Let's proceed.
My brother.
Let's proceed.
My brother.
Let's proceed.
You see, are you happy this memo tax is coming up?
No.
Okay.
Let's proceed.
Are you also happy with the kind of taxes that this government is trying to impose on ordinary Ghanaians?
He's giving me 1,001 reasons why the CPP will never come to power.
In his opinion.
Because you just stated here right now that you will not be part of any demonstration because you are scared that the police will shoot you. When Kwame was arrested and put into jail because of a demonstration which was organized, because he took responsibility of the shooting of one of his gallant men. You are sitting here and saying that you will not go on any
I will not. I think that maybe
controversy.
I will not let it to protect us. I'm afraid. I think being afraid is a genuine
you don't have to be
emotion. I'm afraid of the police.
No,
they will shoot.
Kill people. I'm
Let's proceed. Let's proceed. So
I will not come there. I'm afraid I'll be shot.
Okay, don't worry. So we should go out there, struggle.
Let's move to the next topic.
Come and enjoy.
As a matter of fact,
no. If you finish, you can keep it.
Let me.
I'm afraid.
This one, some real guy, real Minho is watching from Seoul. He said he knows you, South Korea.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Let's speak the truth. CPP is finished. There's no doubt about that." And then real again says, "It is clear that NDC can buy your membership like Chelsea buying players. You can. If NDC can buy your members like Chelsea buying players, then you can also buy them back."
Kwame, can I say
Bright D at the work. I'll come to you. How can NDC, which is bigger than CPP, join CPP? The fact is that CPP doesn't have members, so they have to accept the fact and move on to join NDC, not NDC joining them. It will never happen. It is clear. Okay, now I think I've read this one. KOD, today my friend Soprano is confused. Let's move on to the next topic. Frank Mensabo says, "Where from this rat called..." No, this is too
It's
low.
okay, you can read it. Sometimes they
Mohammed
congratulate me.
Abdul Razak Ali says, "Soprano is not patriotic at all. No one will die for you if you can't die for somebody." Anyway, let's move on.
I wanted to make a little distinction here. Okay, you know, the reason why some time back NDC and CPP wanted to come together was that we believed in the same doctrine, or we have a similar doctrine. We're a socialist democratic party, or we have this underlying socialist movement thing. You understand me? So it is only proper that we can never be in bed with MPP. But there's nothing wrong with having CPP and NDC coming together to be a strong party.
Do you know
so if you have a CPP member who has a socialist mentality and speaks against a capitalist government, it only tells you that it is because of his socialist mentality. And NDC has the same socialist mentality. So based on our belief and on our doctrine, it is only proper that CPP and CPP and NDC work together. If CPP and NDC can come together, what can't we do? What can we not do as a
you ask
country?
this question when you are in opposition. When you were enjoying the bounty of government.
At the moment you are the weaker person.
Let's
you are the weaker person.
When you were enjoying
You are the
let's put
weaker
ourselves
person.
together. Let's put ourselves together.
You are the weaker party, and there are quality members. You have good members.
Okay.
You have some.
Before we move on to the next topic, there's one thing that I just want to say, that because of the comment that you pass, it is the reason why a number of times when people have things to say about the government, they don't.
Yeah.
And it's also the reason why government always makes bullshit or makes nonsense of some of the comments which are passed by people who are even apolitical. Because the presumption is always that if you speak against government, you belong to the other party. If you speak for the other party, if you speak against government, you belong to the other party. That's always what the case is. And it's quite unfortunate because for somebody who is a student of politics, I would have thought that speaking against government does not make you a member of another political party. Particularly when there is no evidence to suggest that you even have a party card. You sit here, you criticize the Akufo-Addo countless number of times. You don't even, sometimes you even say, you make statements to suggest that the NDC's governance, even though was not the best, but was better than Akufo-Addo. It doesn't make you an NDC member. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like your submission, with the greatest of respect, is misplaced in this particular context.
To be specific.
Yeah, I mean that your submission about how when somebody speaks against government, it makes the person belonging to the NDC.
Kwame, please,
because I don't think that these people who have sacrificed themselves, you mentioned Kwekuba, you mentioned Mr. Pratt, you mentioned a few other people. These people who have sacrificed themselves from when all of us were not actively involved in politics, do not have, you are seeking to suggest that they don't have principles.
No, Kwame, don't.
Principles.
Please, I never said that.
No, but that is invariably that's what you are saying.
No, you see, I think
it's very unfair when you say that.
Minded people coming together.
When you said I think it's
it's principles.
Of course, you give me the opportunity to respond.
Principles are either wholly kept or wholly abandoned. You cannot abhor pork and relish the soup. If you are a socialist believer of socialism and you are an Nkrumahist, you believe in Nkrumah. And the very people who overthrew Nkrumah are the ones, for instance, in government. And they are the ones who are making the Ghanaian people suffer the more. And you speak against those people. I don't want to believe that once you speak against those people, it makes you an NDC member. If the NDC government is in power, and like Mame said, they have some semblance of socialism, and you disagree with some of their policies, you can equally voice them out. But largely, because they find expression in what you stand for, the presumption, which will be a fact, is that whatever it is that they will do will be in tandem with the CPP's position of
the NDC is never like the CPP.
So
please allow me to.
But I never said it is like the NDC.
Give me an opportunity.
You're not listening to. Let's move on.
E-levy controversy. A lot of
but it was not in reference to me. It was not in reference to you.
You should bear with me. Give me a minute.
E-levy controversy. Haruna says yes. Muntaka says no. E-levy. Let me come to you.
Well,
the NDC has taken billions of loans from the World Bank and the IMF. They are neo-colonialists. They are in bed with the Western powers. No, bear with me. NDC. I'm talking about the National Democratic Congress. Please allow
let's have from decency on the show. With respect to you, I like you very much, and you know that.
But
you equally would have to. The statement that I'm making is in reference to a particular statement that you made,
and you don't allow me to react.
And I'm bringing it to your attention that particular statement that you made is erroneous.
I disagree with you.
You can disagree with me, but I'm not going to engage you on this.
But of course.
So let's move on. And I've asked Mame Fua to respond to the E-levy controversy. With respect to you, sir. Mame, let's move on.
Well, thank you very much. I must say, I mean, we've had a very interesting and aggressive conversation.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's good to debate like that.
Yeah,
it's good to debate like that. It's good to express your opinion once in a while. Anyway,
you know, when
number one,
when you are committing a crime and you do that in darkness, and you look to your left and you look to your right, and nobody's watching, always look up. Maybe God is watching.
He is actually always watching.
Kwame, the truth is that Ghana is broke. Ghana is broke. Ghana is broke. As a country, we do not earn much. We do not earn much. And I believe that our total earnings, is about 37.5 billion Ghana cedis, and our expenditure is already about 70.2 billion Ghana cedis. So that makes our deficit about 32.87 billion. What we are saying is that even before we start talking about Ghana making, about our taxes and all of that, as a country, we are not even able to pull the monies together.
Right.
We are not even able to, get what we need as a country. So, yes, NDC understands that it is important that we widen our tax net, We We are not saying that we don't understand that. We understand that. But all we are saying is that why do you want to burden the poor people? Why do you want to burden the people who are already paying tax? I mean, the government is not being innovative as far as I'm concerned. Okay? You already have 50% of the population being unemployed. That's the workable people. The few people that work, we tax them all right. Okay? These are the government workers, you know, those that you can cut in the corporate and so whatever brackets. They are already paying tax. And these are the same people who are feeding the unemployed, who are also feeding the people in their homes and villages and all of that. And they are the same people that we are taxing. I don't know if I'm making sense here. Yeah. But all I'm saying is that we, the NDC people, are saying that the E-levy will have to be looked at again. Our reason is that, yes, you can find a way of taxing people. You can find a way. We just want the government to be a little more innovative when it comes to taxing. If I work, okay, let's say I'm already paying tax because I have a small company that I work with. So I pay tax. And I'm the same person that sends mobile monies to all the people that call me for one reason or the other. Somebody's mother is dead. They need a contribution. You have to give. Somebody's child is sick in the hospital. You have to support. You have a parent who is not too well. You'll have to support. It's coming from the same person. So we think that you are just deepening the burden of the people of paying tax already. Why don't you find a way of, you know, catching the people who are not in the tax brackets, like the artisans? You understand me? Why don't you catch those people? But I mean, this way, this style of taxing it is not innovative. It is a very simplistic and lazy attitude of taxing people. What we are saying is that your 1.75% that you want to take, the mobile phone companies are already taking 1%. Let's not forget that. So in effect, it becomes 2.75.
That's a lot.
That is a lot on anybody.
Jokes aside.
It is a lot. The government wants to raise 1 billion, okay, in taxes. It is understood. We need the money.
Is it 1 billion or 9.6 billion?
Well, it's about 1 billion because it is
1 billion is going for youth.
The youth start, yeah. But I know that they're going to generate about 9.6 billion from the E-levy.
9.6 billion.
Yeah, from the E-levy.
So 9.6 billion from the E-levy.
Absolutely.
So all I'm saying is that can't we find other innovative ways of taxing the people? You understand me? Because you're taxing the same people. Who sends the mobile money? And we also have to look at taxing the mobile companies themselves. I know that you're already taxing them 25% corporate tax and all of that. But why don't you sit on the table with them and let them understand that this is the crisis in which the country is going through and that we need we need them to support one way or the other. Because Kwame, what is the increment that government has increased as far as, I mean, how much increment has government made as far as salaries are concerned? Just 4%.
Zilch, next to nothing.
Next to nothing. So it means that if I was making 1,000 cedis 2-3 years ago, I'm poorer today because now there's virtually anything that has been added to it, and government keeps taking from me and taking from me and taking from me. So all we are saying is that NDC is saying that let's still negotiate. We have not come to any conclusive position yet.
Absolutely.
We are saying that we understand government is broke, but we are pleading with government that it is difficult for us to even sympathize with what they are going through because of their opulent style of living. Their lifestyle is just unbelievable. You won't believe that this is a country that owes so much and that their president flies a private jet that pays £50 an hour. And this president travels almost every week. The opulent lifestyle is unbelievable. We're just talking about Africa and supporting Africa and making Africa work. But our president, you know, how many African designers does he you know?
Oh, okay. Somebody has sent me the pictures that you're referring to.
How many African designers does he work with? When Mahama was there, and we had this horseshoe guy, guy who started. Mahama wore his shoes. Yes, you see, yes, Mahama wore his shoes, and Mahama wore his shoes not only because he didn't have better shoes to wear, but to find a way of promoting this guy's shoes. And because of that, my whole household also started purchasing shoes from Horseman. Wow. And many other people also started purchasing shoes from him. Now his company has collapsed.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I was about to ask you.
Where is Horseman now? I have been there. I have a daughter that is crazy about his shoes. Okay. I've been there so many times. You order shoes, they don't have the materials. You order shoes, you know, all I'm saying is that we have not promoted the indigenous business. We have not promoted the local business. We have not promoted the Ghanaian business. All we do is by even this leadership. I hear, this is hearsay, shops from UK and brings home to eat. They don't even eat our local food. Why would they not know how much? How would they know how much a bunch of plantain cost? You understand me? So all I'm saying is that NDC is saying that, look, their lifestyle does not even permit Ghanaians to sympathize with them. We're saying that they should find a way of coming back to the table, and we expect Parliament to actually unite their leadership and come and debate properly. Let's have a common, you know, let's agree to something that makes sense.
All right. Thank you, Mami Ifua. Good submission. This one is from Honorable Alhaji Baba Seidu Yusufu. He says, good morning to you, KOD. You are hanged for saying that NPP and NDC are the same. You are definitely in trouble for this near declaration. Honorable. The building has collapsed. You're asking if the roofing is still standing. And I'm sure you also know that in the middle of a storm, you can mistake a window for a door. Let me come to you.
Very ABA.
Oh, yes. Let me come to you. But before, whether you like it or not, you smile.
But she already has a smile.
NDC is overly confident. That's my problem with them. Anyway, let me come to you. Because you see, they think that, 8 years, this will go and they will, 8 years already, right? MPP has spent 8 years, right?
Yeah.
No.
No. My friend from
you that NDC is going to take over 2024.
Why?
Ghanaians are fed up with this opulence.
But why did they change you?
Just the lifestyle alone.
If you were the best, they wouldn't have changed you.
That's why I'm saying that it's all about. I believe that we are not able to make the necessary noise. We are not tyrants. You were telling me about a movie with tyrants. We haven't bought the whole of the media to sing and praise our songs. And that is what is happening here. We are not doing anything. They bought the whole media. The media is singing their praises. What they haven't done, they said they've done. And I mean, these are, what do you call it?
Don't mind me. Just pull your
Kwame.
You know, the Kwame Sefa kinds.
Please, don't mention anybody's name on my show.
What do you call it? The Metro guy, what is it?
Don't mention anybody's name on my show.
You see appointments and all of that.
The appointment that you can mention.
That's what I'm talking about.
That one you can mention.
So I'm telling you the extent, how much they bought them. I know media men that they have bought cars and homes and things for. Yes.
Then where are you going?
You're not singing well. You're not singing well. We don't know whether you're a socialist or you're a capitalist. We cannot tell.
Maybe I should start singing.
Yeah, you're not singing properly.
But you see, you would agree with me. Yeah. You would agree with me that this perception that after every 8 years
we need to change.
We need to change to another. You see, NDC,
that's
then
the problem.
MPP, then NDC.
I even think that there should be.
Because you see, you know the funniest. The reason why I'm saying this is.
4 years is not even
Let's assume.
Yes.
Hold on.
We have like a 6 years. After
Hold on.
that, another
Hold on.
comes.
Yeah, but that's
if
the problem.
If you're doing well, then
For
you
me,
that's the problem.
For me.
You see, let's look at this situation. The reason why I've lost confidence and hope, not just in the MPP, but in most of the other political parties, is that, look, when Akufo-Addo leaves power, who are the people who are going to be around? the very people who are in this government, in the next, assuming NDC wins the 2024 elections, the next people who will come back in 2020, whatever, will be 2032, will be the people that we know. Masa Meboa will be your Napo who will say that tidal waves will be who? These guys. So the question then becomes, why have they suddenly changed in the 8-year period? That is always my problem. So that we have a fresh breed of politicians with some mindset, you know, that they want to change Ghana, they want to.
You're talking about the CP, Kwame.
I want.
Anyway.
But do you understand my argument? Let's assume.
That's why NDC is still a better party.
NDC
has a way of bringing youth up. NDC has a way of bringing youth.
Hold on.
When I say youth, introducing youth into politics,
undoubtedly.
supporting the youth.
Mama, undoubtedly.
Hold
on, guys. Relax, please.
Wasn't he a young person that was brought into the fray?
Well, that's a debate we can have later.
Undoubtedly.
And undoubtedly.
He's not a bourgeoisie.
Who told you? She's an average Ghanaian youth.
Please.
He is.
Boss.
Okay, thank you.
Undoubtedly, President John Dramani Mahama is a fine leader. Undoubtedly.
So leave it.
So I'm leaving it there. I'm leaving it there. He's a fine leader. But you see, when he exits, finally, maybe when he wins 2024, whatever, the people who are going to be taking over are the people that he worked with in 2016, which people, some of which are still close, who were fingered in a lot of all of these deals and things like that.
Kwame,
Those are the people who are going to still be around.
Will take over,
who are still going to be around when Mahama exits. So it's about my thing is not about the immediate after his assumption. I mean, winning the next election is a possibility, but the immediate aftermath of his exit, for me, is very crucial. I don't care about who wins 2024, to be honest with you. I really don't care, because I don't think that Bawumia is competent enough to take. No, I'm not. No, I'm not laughing. He's not competent enough to take over. I'm being honest with you, because he's told so many lies. And me, my blood doesn't flow with lies. It doesn't. So after Nana, who is coming?
CPP. I keep on saying this.
After Nana, after Mahama, who is coming?
We are there.
That's the problem.
We are there. Kwame, I am there.
All of these young boys that you think,
Kwame,
do they care? You see, the question is, do they care about Ghana? That's the question. Anyway, let's proceed.
Kwame, yourself and I, we are there. We can take over.
Me, I'm not a politician.
I'm not a politician. Come on, you are not a politician. But when it comes to bringing better policies, bring your mind. You are there. You can advise from the bench. They do in doing so.
I agree with you, but that will only happen if we have people who are genuine about the things they do, whether they care deeply about the aspirations of the Ghanaian people. Mami, you may be genuine. As you are sitting here, me, I like you because I know you are genuine. But the fact that you are genuine does not mean that, for the purpose of an example, that Kwame Owusu is also genuine. No. So you are only talking for yourself. Right? Thinking that because you are that way, the next person is also that way. But that is not the reality of life. What you hold here may be what somebody holds, you know. Absolutely.
It's all about it.
Yeah, but Mahama is good. That's the point I'm making.
Mahama is good.
If you compare Mahama and Akufo-Addo,
Professor Jane, maybe Professor Jane can come after
Mahama. If you compare Mahama and Akufo-Addo, Mahama is super.
Yes, go on.
For that one, everybody is aware. Kwame, my friend from Korea, he just sent me a message and said I should let you know that if we should go ahead and approve this E-levy, he will stop sending money to Ghana. And you know what that means?
Why?
But if this E-levy is approved, people sending monies to their relations in Ghana will also stop. And where are they going to get the taxes that they said they are going to use for the U-Start and what have you? For me, like Mami was saying, it is a lazy way of trying to extort money from the ordinary Ghanaian. And that is very bad. You understand? It is very bad. And look, whether Muntaka or whether whoever minority leader is saying, whatever they are saying, we don't want to listen to that. All that we are interested is that they should drop that E-levy. And so on the 8th of December, that is coming this Wednesday, Kwame, you and I, we are all marching to Parliament House. In fact, we are going to sleep there until they drop that E-levy, because we've realized that that E-levy, if care is not taken, both sides are going to compromise, and they will pass it on.
The last time I went to the demonstration, they said I was an NDC member.
Come on, Kwame. Forget about being an. If you are an NDC member, is it not a political party? What is wrong with someone being an NDC member? No, being an NDC member to make sure that the right things are done. You can tell me I'm an NDC member. I don't care.
I agree.
What needs to be done must be done properly. So whether the thing is not good because I am speaking against it, it takes me to be an NDC member. Forget it. This demonstration is very important, Kwame. This is about time the youth of Ghana needs to rise up. This is where we have to tell our MPs that, look, our lives matter. The ordinary person on the street lives matter. Yes, of course. It is not about going to Chemi and to be doing whatever. Somebody died in US and you come to Accra and be doing that. This is the time we need to tell our MPs that we voted for them. We asked them to represent us in that house. And so when they are going, whatever decisions they are taking, they should take their decision in our interest and not in their interest. And look, if the minority should come together and say they are going to accept that 1% that is moving around, I bet you will sleep there until they withdraw this hideous, they call it Ajenkwa, but I'm telling you that they are rather taking our lives. So Ajenkwa means and we are not going to sit down for them to take our lives, because in taking our lives we cannot go on to do whatever we want to do. So Wednesday, the youth of Ghana, Wednesday, Kwame, Mamefua, I know you will join us.
I will join you.
And Wednesday, whether they claim that you are an NDC, join us. Yeah. Because we want the right thing to be done. Making sure that this E-levy is scrapped is the agenda. And the agenda continues unabated.
Are you opposed to generating revenues in terms?
We are not, Kwame.
So
we are not opposing to.
Is it that the 1.75 is too much, or
Kwame,
if it's reduced, let's say 0.5?
Kwame, we don't even need 0.001. Kwame, we don't need anything. You see, that particular tax is a lazy man's way of trying to extort money from the ordinary Ghanaian.
Like Baumia said.
Kwame, after that man, I don't want to talk about him. And thank God he's no more talking. He's no more speaking in Ghana again. Because of what he himself has said. He can't even come out to defend anything.
He's a black sheep.
Master, he's just dead. He's dead. A dead man walking. I can tell you for a fact. See, Kwame, this tax, do you know what it means? If they should tax any ordinary Ghanaian, people's businesses are going to collapse.
Absolutely.
Imagine someone, capital, just 1,000 Ghana cedis. He uses that money for mobile money. At the end of the day, ask yourself, how much is the person going to pay when he's transferring that 1,000 cedis? And you want us to pay this E-levy for something? Yes, you want
for government to be
175.
And then plus MT now
another 100.
That's 275.
Master,
what are you sending 1,000?
No, when you are sending yes, when you are sending 10,000.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So just imagine what is the transport money from here to Kumasi?
Oh, we'll fly.
So in the event that you want to tax Ghanaians, people will rather end up keeping the monies under their beds. And this thing, you see, I keep saying that the leaders, our leaders don't think outside the box. Look at areas where monies have been channeled to. Instead of you to seal those holes, you've not. If you look at the auditor's report from 2017 down to 2021, you realize that a lot of monies are in people's pockets. How are you retrieving those monies? Instead of you to go after them, retrieve those monies, you are rather telling me to pay Momo tax so that you can go spend it on private jet, go spend it in the sky and be bathing. What are you telling me?
What are you telling me?
We are not ready to accept even a peswa.
So what on the demonstration?
We are starting at 7 a.m. sharp of Brasport. And we are marching through the principal street of Accra from Adabraka to Tudu. In fact, the police decided that they will not allow us to enter through Tudu. But thankfully, they have agreed. And they have also agreed that when we get to Parliament, well, we can stay there till thy kingdom come. And so they should expect us, parliamentarians. Wednesday. We want them to know that, look, it is about time those year become something else. What
about those of us who are also for the E-levy?
Kwame, if you are for the E-levy, I will be shocked at you.
Why?
Kwame,
must we all have the same?
Kwame, you were the same person complaining last week that somebody asked you to send Bobo, and you were like, "Hey, Kwame, you see this thing, you think that is affecting only I, but it's not myself.
Yesterday I sent some.
So can you imagine?
And sometimes people don't even know.
And it is affecting my brother.
Yeah.
And this is the time I want my brother to just stand up and say, look, I shouldn't be scared of the Ghana police. I am going, shoot me. Let me die. After all, when I die, people out there will get to know that it's because
you died for a cause.
Yes. Don't be there. Yes.
You should be careful
about what
somebody says you are an NDC member.
Kwame, if I'm an NDC member,
before somebody says
Kwame, forget it. It's a party.
Let's not
so for us that their ideas can be able to solve the problems of the ordinary Ghanaian.
You have the time. Our time is up.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I just want to say that I got a text message right now. I have a friend who says he will give me a bulletproof vest.
Thank you.
Thank you. The police will shoot me.
No, they will not. They will not.
Having said that,
Dampari is not like that.
I also want to.
I know what you want to do.
Yes, I also want to say that my sister says that the NDC is not the same as the NPP. My sister, because you are inside there, you think so. We outside, we know. Okay, E-levy. When you were in power, NDC, and you were enjoying Pechepe in that fancy Land Cruisers, and you were traveling all over the world and spending. You don't know it because you were in it. We have always been outside. Take it from me, my sister. I love you, by the way. Yeah, so please, the CPP position with regards to the E-levy was, put out by the our general secretary, Nanaya Jantua. We're against the E-levy. Okay, we think that I have the bulletproof vest. I'll be there. We're against the E-levy. We feel that the government should focus on the multinationals, and try and raise some money from there, etc. We think that the government should, put the state in the driving seat because we are in dire straits and try and create some mass employment for the people. Okay. So this is our position. We don't think that the E-levy, the Ghanaian people can bear it. Indeed, we also think that the president could, tighten his belt if he can. If only President Akufo-Addo could stop, flying that aeroplane, it will help us a little bit. Okay, so with regards to the E-levy, Kwame, you see, I put out a party position. If you want, I'll do analysis. You understand? And so I'll do analysis because I'm standing with my party position. However, I just wanted to say that I recognize that the government proposes the budget, okay, and the government has the mandate. So although we don't like the E-levy, I think the realistic thing is that probably a middle ground will be found. We are watching the minority in parliament. Unfortunately, your glorious CPP, we couldn't go to parliament, as we've not been able to do over the past several cycles. Our party, the CPP, we are in trouble. What is happening is that we don't have a lot of money to be able to do our programs. But what we want the Ghanaian youth to understand that we are the way forward, and would really appreciate you if you would seriously consider coming to join us. When people say that we don't have people, nobody wants to join us. How do we get people if you don't come and join us? And if you look, then the question I ask the youth in this country is, when you look at your life, where do you really think you will be in 5 years? Under President Akufo-Addo or his twin brother, President Mahama. They are the same people. So the option is the CPP. And with regards to the E-levy, take note, Ghanaians, that it appears that $241 million cedis has been set aside to facilitate collection of that levy. There is talk that President Akufo-Addo's government wants to give that job to his family members and some of his friends. I don't believe it. I think President Akufo-Addo is a patriot, and that he would, make sure that there's a transparent process in regards to this 241 million. It would be very sad indeed if he gives it to one of his family members, and if he does that and the CPP comes into power, we will forensically scrutinize that person. Now, apart from that, there's one part of the finance minister's budget that I admire. You understand? In all of that gloomy budget, there was a ray of light. I'm talking about the Minister of Finance's proposal that the Ministry of Finance teams up with the MMDAs, the municipalities, metropolitan district chief executives, etc., so that they collect property taxes using a digitized system. This is key. I think that the government, that one, President Akufo-Addo and Honorable Finance Minister got it right, because we need to be taxing rich people, not poor people. The E-levy tax is going to be impacting poor people tremendously, negatively, tremendously. But if the government is to pay attention and focus on collecting these property taxes, because you see, you have to tie the talk of collecting property tax using an enhanced digitized system. You have to combine it or put it in tandem with the results of the immediate past census, where they were, the census guys actually were holding GPS devices that enables them to pinpoint every precise location for every structure. You understand? So the government, in essence, has access to all the database. They know where every building in this country is standing. And if that is the case, then we expect that the government, we should all support the government to run an effective property tax collection regime. But as for the E-levy, it is dead in the water.
All right.
And then finally, Kwame, people are saying that maybe the minority and the majority will come to a conclusion, some accommodation in Parliament. And that, because of that, it will work. I don't believe so. Personally, I don't have a lot of faith in this Parliament. This is because during the primary season, in the run-up to the parliamentary elections, I watched it. They paid so much bribe. Members of Parliament, some of them contesting for the first time, and some incumbent, paid so much bribe to Ghanaians. TVs, cars, refrigerators, cash. I don't want to mention names here. And there were even people who were saying it on radio and in newspapers. There's a record. So based on the behavior of our members of Parliament during the primary season,
all right,
we don't expect anything.
Thank you, Mami. You wanted 1 minute, please.
Yeah. I wanted to encourage our members, the minority members in Parliament. I want them to know that Ghanaians are behind them. They should stand for what is right. We are all behind them. They should make sure that they are sensitive to the ordinary Ghanaian. They are sensitive to the ordinary Ghanaian. And we are saying that we are behind our parliamentarians. Muntaka says that they haven't come to any conclusion yet.
Okay.
So, a luta continua. Ghanaians are behind minority in Parliament. Thank you very much.
Yes, she'll be there.
Kwame,
I'll be there. I'll support you.
Somebody just sent me a text message that, look, the country is hotter to extend that their girlfriends are now running to Togo.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Soprano. Thank you, Desmond. Nana Kwame too. Thank you, Mami Efua Wadito, the Deputy National Women's Organizer for the NDC. Thank you for watching today's edition of Good Morning Africa. My name is Kwame Owusu. So, as always, these submissions expressed are the independent opinions of these panelists here. And so, yeah, that's just about it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Hello, information. Me, I have still not got the money for that list of expensive building materials you sent to me. The price of the iron rods have been increased too much, are they?
Madam, relax. Look, that's not why I even called. I just visited IPCP, where the engineers told me everything about Trasacco fast floor.
Trawanko, please, those people are expensive. Are they not the people building those big houses in town? I beg, go to
Madam, in fact, I used to